Ice on my wrist, looking kinda cool. Bad bitch with me, she ain't tryna move. Niggas staring at me, what you tryna do? Got me looking at my watch, and it's time to do.
What's going on, everyone? So in today's video, I just want to do a quick little discussion talking about how to win at Yu-Gi-Oh, or for that matter, any card game 90% of the time. And this is totally not clickbait, because honestly, these are just general rules of thumb I've personally followed every time I do well, no matter what card game I'm playing, whether it's Naruto. Didn't really get too competitive in Magic, but even when I try to play Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh specifically, the Dragon Ball, old Dragon Ball, not the new Dragon Ball, the old Dragon Ball game. Every game I got somewhat good at and started winning at, I followed these proven tips, and it's nothing stereotypical like play meta, cheat, none of that bull crap that a lot of players spew because they hate losing because they feel like there is no skill in the game and the game is totally luck based. No, these are things that a lot of players do currently, and these are pretty much not secrets. It's common sense, but I guess common sense is not so common. And a lot of players who do follow these things that I'm talking about right now are the ones who you see topping a lot, like Blair Hunter, Patrick Hoban, Jeff Jones, when he was playing Yu-Gi-Oh competitively, Billy Break. Let's go on from there. And you know, when I was doing good in Yu-Gi-Oh, me, and then when I did good in Naruto, me as well. So first thing I'm gonna talk about is playtesting. A lot of Yu-Gi-Oh players neglect the playtest. Reason being, I mean, of course, Yu-Gi-Oh is not a money-based game, so they feel like they don't need to put in the work, hour here and there in a week. They might go to locals and then they're done for the week. That's not enough. 20 to 40 hours a week minimum. Now, I used to say 30, 40 hours a week, but you know, after talking to a few people, that's kind of excessive. I do think you can get the job done with 20 to 40 hours a week specifically. Reason being, you guys need to move out the kinks of playing. You need to make your mistakes in the play testing. You guys need to learn your deck, and you guys just need to know what to do for specific situations. You need to know new meta. You guys need to know ruling. So let's go on from there. And play testing helps you get out all of those kinks. No, practice makes best. The players who don't do well in this game, they neglect the playtest because they feel like the game is all crap anyway and it's all luck based. And they may know a few people who do not have to playtest as much, not knowing that those players who don't playtest as much are specifically people who probably been playing forever, so they don't have to work out kinks like a newer player. Like, for example, me. I feel like I'm a pretty good player. You know, I'm not gonna say I'm the best player, but I feel like I'm a pretty good player. I don't need to do 40 hours of playtesting a week. If I did, I'd be a monster at this game. But you know, for the level I am at my skill level, in my personal opinion, if I stick to a deck that I know, I can get away with 1 or 2 hours a week minimum playtesting. But if you're new to the game, or because you haven't put in a year, I've been playing the game about 16 years, so I can kind of get away with a little bit of murder. But if you're new to this game and you haven't played that much, you haven't put in the time and the work already, or the work ethic, 20 to 40 hours a week is pretty good. You know, playtesting with your buddies and etc. Next thing, try out new decks. So in order to win at Yu-Gi-Oh! Or any card game, you guys have to try new decks out, man. I can't express how important this is, specifically towards me, because I don't play a lot of new decks, and I just started playing new decks because of the channel, and I'm starting to learn a lot of the benefits of playing new decks. For one, it allows you to, one, understand the meta a lot more, but for two, it allows you to see why other decks are good, which in fact, you can take that type of play style or how those decks are built and implement it on your own. For example, Masked Heroes, combo control type of deck. You make Dark Law, you sit on Dark Law pass. Then I play a deck like Zombies. Now I'm playing Zombies and I'm seeing how much it spams. I'm like, okay, I can use maybe some of the zombie stuff in my hero deck, and I can mesh the two together and make an even better deck. I mean, things like that, just trying different decks out, allowing you to understand the meta, allowing you to know different rulings is really good. And then also, if you go to a tournament, it allows you guys to just, okay, this is a rogue deck, and this guy that I'm playing against think no one else has played yet because you see me playing a meta deck, but because I played that rogue deck before, I'm already prepared for it. You know, little things like that can really help you guys a lot. Next up, understanding your deck inside and out. Now, with playtesting, and trying different decks out, you guys definitely will understand your deck inside and out. But, you know, just reading over every single card, line by line, knowing all the combos is very crucial. And it's easier nowadays than it was back in my day when I was growing up, because, you know, people just, they'll get a deck because they saw it, someone played it at an event. They'll play test with it. They do somewhat okay with it because the deck is just that good. You can just win with it with no thinking. I'm looking at you, link-based decks like Goki, just 2-card combos. But what about those games where you can't open up the 2-card combos? What about those games where it's like you have to think of the out-of-the-box plays? Like, I play my hero deck and I use Summoner Monk, right? A lot of people tell me, why do you play Summoner Monk? It's a trash card. Well, Summoner Monk has won me more games than it's lost me, and honestly speaking, I love as a hero player using Summoner Monk, and I've done well with Summoner Monk in my deck, so it's a personal preference for sure. But understanding how to utilize a card in specific situations can definitely put you ahead of somebody, especially if you're using the mirror match, and you know, you may know a combo that they did not know. So, you know, just reading through your deck, playing with it, you know, doing test hands, things like that will help you guys understand your deck a lot. And going into understanding your deck, you guys definitely want to make sure you understand the meta as well. Of course, this is going to help you out with playtesting, but, you know, understanding the meta for Yu-Gi-Oh! Is very crucial. We have things like YGO Organization. We have YGO Pro for playtesting. We have new tools. Heck, we have people on YouTube other than my channel who do excellent deck analysis and breakdowns. Off-back, SEMO, Lithium 2300 gives you a visual from playtesting new archetypes and new ideas, and while they may not be the best versions of set deck, it gives you an idea of what the decks do. Another guy as well, Seeing Some RX, gives you a good breakdown of the deck and tells you what they do and show you off of really cool combos. And, you know, just by watching tournament reports, tournament recaps online, you can understand what the meta is, and it allows you to understand the next thing I'm going to talk about which is the side deck. Now, the side deck is where a lot of players come to lose. They spend all of their time focusing on the main deck, but they don't think about the side deck. Now, people will say, oh, you can just side deck evenly matched, twin twisters, what bam. And that's cool, and for most of the case, it may just get you there. But what about those rogue decks that are pretty good? What about those people who forgot Cyber Dragons were a deck, where they could have side decked system now? You know, things like that. Going into a big event, you have to expect, like, I'm always an advocate of making side deck cards that is not only good for one deck, but are good for multiple decks. And there's a lot of cards out there, like, right now that's good like that. For example, Evenly Match. Awesome side deck card. I personally think it should be banned, but it's a great example of a card that is not only good for decks that just spam to the board, it's good for multiple decks, and heck, sometimes you can even main deck the card. Another example of a card that's good for multiple decks is Mind Crush. Mind Crush is an awesome card you can use for multiple matchups and multiple decks. I mean, just focusing on, when you focus on a side deck, guys, you gotta not only see what the meta is and side for, you guys gotta side for what beats your deck. That's the most crucial thing people do when they side deck and they mess up. They don't side for what beats their deck. For example, if I know my deck, if I'm playing heroes, right, and I know heroes have a good Goki matchup, but if I have a crappy Sky Striker matchup, I need to focus most of my side deck on Sky Strikers instead of going online, knowing 90% of the people online don't play my deck, and they don't show side decks in their deck profiles, and they're not telling you how to beat X, Y, and Z deck with their main deck that you're having issues with. So you got to think about what cards can help you in said matchup based on the deck that you're using. So that's something I think a lot of people forget to do. And honestly, that's something I had to learn the hard way. Back when I played Naruto, my biggest event I've ever done well at, I got second place at this event called the Cloud Kage back in 2009. And I thought I was going to win because I smashed my opponent game one. This would have been my first event I've ever won in Naruto. I've never won an event. This is the highest I've ever gotten in a Naruto tournament. And but my side deck sucked balls because I thought my main deck was just going to get me there all the way. And the reason why I lost that game after I beat my opponent game one, because his side deck was 10 times better than mine. But if I was to study the meta, and if I would have had a better side deck, I would have been crowned as a tournament winner for Naruto, which I don't want to go into that right now. It kind of makes me mad that I lost that game. But either here or there, 9 years later, I'm still salty about that loss. Side deck is very crucial, man. Don't sleep on it. Next up, go to your local tournaments. So many people decline to go to locals, and they get mad when they go to a regionals or YCS why they lost. Local tournaments, the thing is about locals, Yeah, people at your locals might suck, right? Yeah, people like at your locals might be like me who like to play rogue decks. That if you go to a regionals or a YCS, you're not gonna see all day. You may see it in the first couple of rounds, but you're not gonna see it all day. But at the same time, by going to locals, you get to see these rogue decks, which help prepare you for if you see these decks in a big event. But also, just going to locals give you that tournament pressure experience. It helps you beat anxiety. You know how many people at locals I see when they get to table one and they've never been to table one at locals, they get a little nervous. They can't concentrate. They need everybody to be quiet. Well, if you do that 10 times in a row at locals, and then when you finally do good at a regionals or a YCS, that pressure and anxiety is not going to be there anymore. I mean, it happens to everyone. And I see people all the time when they're under that pressure. For example, like the guy who got second at YCS Pasadena. He said he was nervous, which is why he completely bombed that game with the Link Karibo pass. So if you're used to playing at locals and you get used to the anxiety, when the time comes when you finally do well, the anxiety won't be there because you have the practice of doing well already, and you just gonna go with the flow pretty much. Now the last thing I'm gonna talk about, which is the most important, guys, for winning at Yu-Gi-Oh! Or any card game 90% of the time, and this is the most important thing, guys. This is the most important thing because a lot of people sleep on this line. You need a team or people who are at your level or better to play test with. Preferably a team, because teams help you out. They give you cards. They're going to just help you get there. But at the same time, if you can get some people who play test well with you, and they're not Debbie Downers, that are not going to go to a tournament saying, I'm a scrub, you know, I'm just here just to F around, you know. You got to leave those people alone if you're going to a big event. You guys literally, if you want to do good at any game you're going to play, whether if it's Yu-Gi-Oh!, Magic, Pokemon, I don't care who you are, what you are, no matter what type of thing you're doing, you need a team. Teams help you out so much. The thing that made me so well at card games in general, and I'm not trying to toot my own horn, just use myself as an example because I really appreciate the fact that I had a good Naruto team and they helped me push my skill level so high above the ceiling when I was playing Naruto. And I know the benefit of it, just having the brothership, the brotherhood. People got your back when you're at events. The constant play testing, the constant ragging and talking crap that helps pump everyone up from the event. You can't do that crap by yourself. And a lot of people take that stuff for granted because playtest online or go to locals, they're good. But not knowing that when they go to a big event, they wind up losing because they don't have that team. They don't have people to push them, to point at the flaws they made. They don't have people backseat dueling while they're playing their game. Tell them, hey man, you could have did X, Y, Z. Why did you do this play? They don't have people just to speak straight up with them and tell them, dude, you suck with this deck. Play that deck. You did better with that deck. That's the type of stuff teams do. And that's the type of stuff if they care about you and they play test with you and they're just as good as you are, they'll be upfront with you like, hey, why are you playing Cyber Dragons? They'll be like, hey, why are you playing Gokis instead of playing Cyber Dragons? You know Gokis Cyber Dragons like the back of your hand. Why are you playing Gokis? Because you're trying to win an event. Like, I always advocate people, don't ask me what deck to play. If you know a deck that's good already, you know it's in the back of your hand, play that deck over the meta deck because 9 times out of 10, you're not going to play her with that deck. So, yeah, man, you guys need a team. Everyone needs a team. And with teams, it could just get you there, man. That's why a lot of people are starting Yu-Gi-Oh! Teams now. And that's why back in the day, a lot of the pro players were all part of Yu-Gi-Oh! Teams. Team Overdose, Team, I can't think of the names right now. But, a lot of the teams now, Team Ghost, the Card Guys, the Team TCG. The list can go on from there, man. But yeah, man, teams can help you guys out. So, with all that being said, man, I hope you guys find this video very informative. And I would like to hear your criticism and feedback in the comment section down below. Like the video. Let's try to get this video up to 100 likes. It'd be great. If you guys want more discussions like this for Yu-Gi-Oh!, let me know. So with all that being said, once again, this is InnovationYGO, and I'm signing out. Peace.